Hello, you're listening to Yellow King Filmboy. David Fincher hasn't released a full movie since Gone Girl in 2014. In that time, he's been busy directing and producing 2 seasons of Mindhunter on Netflix and being executive producer of the animated Netflix show Love, Death and Robots. But come October, Fincher will be returning to the world of movies courtesy of Netflix with Mank. David Fincher's highly anticipated biopic Mank is en route to Netflix later this fall. The film is based on the career of Citizen Kane screenwriter Herman J. Mankiewicz and his creative war with Orson Welles. The film is based on a script by Fincher's father, who passed away in 2003. Jack Fincher was allegedly obsessed by Mankiewicz, the writer of Citizen Kane, which most cinephiles believe is the greatest movie of all time. Alongside Gary Oldman in the title role, Amanda Seyfried co-stars as Hollywood actress Marion Davis. So here's some info on the film and what can we expect from it. Producer Eric Roth, who has proved himself worthy of an Oscar while he has also scribed Forrest Gump and was the official writer of the film The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, says that filmmaker David Fincher's upcoming movie Mank will come across as a black and white 1930s movie to the viewers. He says it's an incredible piece. He did a black and white 30s movie. It looks like a 30s movie and feels like one, Roth said. The film was originally going to be David Fincher's next project after The Game, the film starring Michael Douglas, way back in 1997, but it was stalled because the studio did not agree with his preference to shoot the film in Citizen Kane-inspired black and white. During that time, Fincher was in talks with Kevin Spacey to play the title role. David Fincher and Gary Oldman, who is the movie's central protagonist, have a connection. They have both been married and divorced to the same woman, Donia Fiorentino. Amanda Seyfried co-stars as Hollywood actress Marion Davis. In a recent interview with Collider, Seyfried candidly shared her thoughts on working with Fincher, an experience she described as the hardest she has ever worked. According to Seyfried, certain scenes would take an entire week to film. She said, "I was part of the scenes with tons of people in it and we would do it for an entire week. I can't tell you how many takes we did, but I would guess 200. Maybe I could be wrong and could be way off. I could be underestimating by 5 days of one scene when I didn't have one line. You think I can just relax? No, because there are probably about 9 or 10 different camera angles that had been on me at one point." This is no real surprise, as Fincher has a reputation of being a perfectionist and taking loads of takes of any scene. By the time he directed Gone Girl, it was known that Fincher was shooting a scene 50 times average. He had already told Justin Timberlake before making The Social Network about this thing he does, shooting a scene multiple times. Fincher said, "We are going to micro-fractally explore this text, because all there is in the movie is people talking. We are going to pick that shit out of the pepper. We're going to find the moments between the moments that move and resonate. And if you're not willing to hit that hole a lot of times, don't do this, because it's going to be agony for you. If the charge for you is wardrobe malfunction, you're not going to get that. There's not going to be a lot of surprises here. You're going to surprise yourself. I'm going to have you do it until you have gone past memorizing it, gone past knowing your own name, until we can get all of the physical nonsense so ingrained that we can get to what the actual text is." Mank also reunites Fincher with his longtime composers Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross, who won the Oscar for their work on The Social Network. Reznor said last year he would only be using period-authentic instruments to compose the Mank score. Reznor said of the soundtrack, "We're not going to be using the modular synthesizer on that one," Reznor said. "We think we're going to be period-authentic, so it just creates a new set of challenges." Longtime location manager William Doyle told Daily Press that Mank is not just a biopic about the legendary writer. Mankiewicz was a notorious drinker and suffered a leg injury in a car crash, so Wells brought the screenwriter to the Kemper Campbell Ranch so that he could work on Citizen Kane without distractions. Mankiewicz spent 2 months at the dry ranch and wrote hundreds of draft pages of the Kane script for Wells to edit. Because of Mankiewicz's ties to the ranch, it was of the utmost importance to Doyle to have the production film there. He said, "The place hasn't changed. You get over that hill into that ranch and you're in this tiny, tiny time capsule. You are where Herman Mankiewicz really sat and stood and wrote this story." So I feel this could be something really, really special. We have Fincher, one of the greatest directors around, one of the greatest directors of all time, who hasn't directed a movie for 6 years, who will want to come back firing on all cylinders. We have Gary Oldman, who is one of the greatest actors, and a story which is obviously very, very personal to Fincher, seeing that it is based on a script by his late father. So I will be surprised if this film is anything less than amazing. As always, thank you for listening. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and press that notification bell if you would like to be notified in the future when I upload videos. So someone tweeted just the other day some audio of David Fincher calling Ben Affleck unprofessional, and the tweet got a lot of interest. It actually comes from the Blu-ray commentary of Gone Girl, so it's nothing new, but I've never heard of it before, and obviously a lot of other people on Twitter hadn't either, so I thought it might be of interest to you guys. So basically, the story goes like this. On the set of Gone Girl, for a scene, David Fincher wanted Ben Affleck to wear a Yankees baseball cap. Affleck is apparently a die-hard Red Sox fan and he refused to put it on. Affleck said at the time, "I said, David, I love you. I would do anything for you," Affleck told the New York Times in 2014, "but I will not wear a Yankees hat. I just can't. I can't wear it because it's going to become a thing. David, I will never hear the end of it. I can't do it. And I couldn't put it on my head." In addition, Affleck describes the subsequent negotiations as very Switzerland, whatever that means. It must have caused a ruckus of some kind, as this argument shut down production for 4 days. Ben Affleck's agent was brought in to mediate the conflict, while production of Gone Girl completely shut down, and during that time there was no communication, no filming, nothing. All of this over a baseball hat. Eventually they reached a compromise and Affleck wore a Mets hat and filming begun again. Here's a clip of the audio of David Fincher calling Ben Affleck unprofessional.
There's a moment described at the end of this scene where Nick Dunn has to reach into his duffel bag or his backpack and get out a baseball cap that he's bought at the airport, and he puts it on and walks away in hopes that people don't recognize him from the television and put together that that's him, that he's in their presence. And I really wanted it to be Yankees cap, but being from Boston and not being very professional as an actor, Ben refused to wear a Yankees cap. And it did not come to blows, but we had to shut down production for 4 days as we negotiated with Patrick Weitzel over what would be the best thing for the movie, what Patrick thought would be the best way to meet the requirements of the production and something that his client could live with, which I thought was entirely unprofessional.